Right, we're up to 50 billion on both sides, and the administration has been going out of their way to dampen expectations. Two reasons. First, if the Chinese do come up with some major concessions, they want credit from you and your colleagues. They want to extract maximum media benefit out of this. But more importantly, there are hardliners within the president's economics team, in particular USTR Bob Lighthizer, Peter Navarro, who actually want the tariffs to stay in place for years as a means of repatriating global supply chains and rebuilding American manufacturing.
So you don't see a deal in sight?
I don't see it coming anytime before the fall at the earliest. The Chinese are very much looking forward to the midterms. They think it could put pressure on the president, but I don't think the president's going to be moving anytime soon.
Bruce, will it put pressure on the president into the midterms? So far, it really does not look like it's having a major effect or any real effect on the economy and on consumer prices. You can spot it in some specific cases, but is this a real issue for the president?
You know, look, I do think it's going to be a real issue, that I think the cumulative impact of the tariffs is going to impact farmers, it's going to impact businesses, and ultimately it's going to hurt the competitiveness of a number of American companies that operate in global markets and compete with foreign companies in their same fields. Now, with that said, I do agree with Ben that I think the president is very committed to this and is willing to endure some degree of political pain. The question is, over the course of time, as we see a real negative impact on American companies and American farmers, is the White House going to be willing to stick with this, particularly when our foreign competitors are going to benefit at the expense of Americans?
Ben, I want to go back to a point you just made, because I think it's really important in terms of how the administration is potentially thinking about this. This idea that there's this split within the administration on how they're thinking about tariffs. On one side, maximum pressure to get a deal as quickly as possible. On the other side, keeping tariffs in place to incentivize more businesses to do more stuff back here in the U.S. When you think about it from either one of those perspectives, we have a lot of debates on this air about why would you do this when there are other options you could take. It sounds to me like you're talking about an administration that sees tariffs either way as a win-win.
That's right. If you look at the left of this administration, Mnuchin, Kudlow, they're willing to use trade tariffs as a stick to beat China, but they want to get a deal done as quickly as possible. As you know, Mnuchin was willing to do it a few months ago. But, I mean, one tool the administration amazingly has not tried to use is the WTO. They've disparaged the WTO, but they have allies in Europe and Latin America and Asia who would join them in trade action against China. There are so-called nuclear options within the WTO, so-called Article 23, which encompasses a very broad range of Chinese offline actions against foreign companies. But instead, they're talking about potentially pulling out. I think it's a mistake.